Be. I've got
There we go. Now we're live. Welcome everybody to Hump Day Hangouts. This is episode 341. Today is the 26th of May, 2021. We got the full group here. We got a few announcements for you, and we're going to get through those right after we stop, take a breather, say hello to everybody before getting in and then answering your questions. So first of all, let me start here on my left. Hernan, how are you doing today?
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that. It's good, man. Everything is good. I'm excited to be here as usual. It's getting really cold down here. Well, as cold as it can be, It's not as cold, but it's getting cold and, but everything is looking good.
That's good. I sent Hernan a picture of what I did last week when I went for a run and ended up in snow. I think I scared him away from ever coming back up to visit in North America again.
Yeah, at least during specific times of the year, I'll just visit you. I don't know, during spring, like 15, the best 15 days of spring, and that's it.
There we go. Well, speaking of spring, Marco, how you doing today?
Land of eternal spring, Costa Rica, man. I'm good. I mean, I can't complain. I can't. I am so overworked, working on all the different things, the plugins, software, trying to push out all these different projects all at the same time. And then I'm starting a crypto trading club. It's not investment. So we're not going to hold the coin. We're not going to fall in love with it. We're not going to, no. There is just buy it low, trade it high, make money. That's the motto of the group. Before anyone reaches out to me, you have to meet certain conditions. One of those is I reach out to you to offer membership in the club. You don't come to me and say, I want to be a member. It doesn't work that way. Of course, you have to be one of our paying members. It can't just be anybody coming in either. I already have 9 people, by the way, that are in this. So we're just going to start, we're just going to have fun and play and see how many times we can double whatever money we start with. It'll probably be $250 a person, so nobody feels bad about losing $250 because it can be one of those things where you lose money. Haven't seen it yet. If you guys play this shit right, like on a daily basis, you can make money, even when it's going down, because it will go up as it goes down. It's really interesting. All you have to do is look at the charts, look at the graphs, look at the math, and apply it. Put in the stops, right? The sell orders and the buy orders, all at the right time. And so if you only make 1% daily, which you can't make anywhere else, by the way, but think of it, 1% daily. So over 8 days, that's 8%. You do that 9 times. So over a period of about 10 weeks, and you just double the money. And that's all you have to think of. People are thinking, well, I got to make 50%. I got to make 100% return for it to be worth it. If you make 1%, which you can make, 20, 30 are totally doable. They're just 1%, and you're there. You have to be fearless. You can't be in there worrying about losing money. You have to be in there looking to make money, and that's the mindset. I'm going to make money, and you have to look how. Anyway, it's just interesting. So in between everything else that I'm doing, client, you guys saw the training video from, not the training video, but Muffy's process on how she writes content. We're bringing in another person to help her write because we're so busy writing. So I'm getting some help for her. It's just all these different things, and I'm pushing out the software, and I'm clients, and I got all these other things that I'm into. And now on top of all that, I'm in a club, and it should be fun. I'll keep you guys posted. On how it goes. And by the way, all members of the Semantic Mastery team, of the Semantic Mastery owners, are of course invited to join. So let this be the official welcoming of you in the club. If I don't know why you'd want to be members of a club that accepts Marco as one of them.
Yeah. But I don't want to be the member of any club that would have me as a member.
Have me. But hey, I'm in there. That's the riffraff. We won't let anybody else in, any other riffraff. But yeah,
Marco,
it's gonna be a fun ride.
I like the 1%. I posted something on the page there for everyone to take a look. It's from Atomic Habits, the book by James Clear. And so that applies so many places. That's why you'll see sometimes businesses have that as, I know at least ClickUp, I interviewed the founder, Zeb, and he talked about that. That's part of their mission statement because, 1%, everybody can do that. and we're not talking about investment anymore. Most people cannot do that. But personally and with their business, you make those tiny gains and it stacks. So you do that for a year, you multiply it. It's not 37 times, right? Or it is 37 times, but that's 3,700%. Like that's insane.
Exponential.
In the book, he called it the aggregate of incremental gains. Your little photos is a lot more simply worded, but
yeah.
But yeah, the aggregate of incremental gains. But that's an outstanding book. If anybody's not read or listened to Atomic Habits, I highly encourage you to pick it up.
So without reading the book, I can do the math and see that 1% daily, when you're accruing it daily, comes to a whole lot of money over 365.
Yeah.
Like anybody who can't do that math, please go back to school. Please go back to first grade and start over, because you need it. Those of you who can do the math, 365 accruing daily, man, that's a whole lot of money. I don't know whether we'll meet the goal, but you heard it today, because I like making my goals public, right? And I like speaking it.
Yes.
Now I have to live it.
Yeah.
I told you about it. And I told everybody publicly. Anybody who sees this can hold me accountable. Marco, what the fuck are you doing? Did you do that? And so here I am. It's public. I spoke it. I'm putting the club together. We're gonna see how we can all access like the trading platform from the different places in the world that I have. Because Dedia, of course, can do math, and he's in. So here we go, man. Here we go. I'm excited.
Jordan. Yeah, Jordan just said it's not 365%, by the way. All right, well, let's keep going on. We got to get through saying hello to everybody. We got a couple quick other announcements. So Chris, how are you doing today?
Been good here.
Cool. I like it. Straight to the point. Moving on.
Yep.
Bradley, how you doing?
Man, just excited. It's an exciting
All right,
time.
that's enough time. Moving on. No, just kidding.
It's an exciting time because the AI tools that are coming out have just really changed the game, guys. I mean, now is just, in my opinion, this is an exciting time to be an SEO because the tools are making everything so much easier if you know how to use the tools and how to put all the components together, which is what Marco and Rob teach in Heavy Hitter Club, and then how to actually monetize those processes and systems is what we teach in the mastermind. And I don't think I've been this excited about digital marketing since I first entered the space, a little over a decade ago now. And I'm just fucking excited about it all the time now. It's fun. I was just recording process training for my blogger because I just offered her. She's been working piecework for me for 8 years. And I just offered her a salaried position. It's a significant promotion for her. And it's because we've got, just like Marco said, I've got so much need for content right now. And so I was just recording process training videos to teach her how to use some of the tools like Conversion AI, Outranking.io, Surfer SEO, some of those tools like that. And it's just incredible, man. You can bang out 500-600 word articles and, posts in a matter of minutes. It's just insane. It's just a lot of fun. And all of the, stuff that I've been doing over the last couple of months, which is testing a lot of these tools and developing processes around them, have started to bear fruit. Like I've got so many fucking leads coming in right now. Like I can't even keep up with it. Nor can the contractors that I have that are buying leads from me. So there's like a real demand for this kind of stuff. So it's just a great time to be in SEO, I think. Very, very exciting time. And this is a good place to be with us guys, because we've got kind of a really broad spectrum of, skill right here with our group. So it's fun, and I'm excited to be here.
Hell yeah. All right, well, a couple quick more things I wanted to touch on. First of all, if you're new to Semantic Mastery, you're new to MGYB, you're new to Heavy Hitters Club, you're not sure what some of that shit is, then the place you want to start at is theseoshield.com. All right, you're going to hear us talk about the SEO Shield itself a lot, and you can find out more about that as well as a hell of a lot more at that's the word SEOshield.com. Free training, go grab it, done deal. Now, if you're looking to easily automate content, you want more authority, you want relevance, you want trust, Syndication Academy, if you have not heard of it, that's the place you should be at. You can find out more about that at syndication.academy. And if you're ready to grow your business, whether you're consulting, you have an agency, maybe you're one of the brick and mortar owners who's doing stuff online, then you want to join the best community for that. And the place for you would be the Mastermind, the Semantic Mastery Mastermind. You can find out more about that at mastermind.semanticmastery.com. And just a minute ago, I mentioned MGYB and Heavy Hitters Club. You can find out more about MGYB. That's where you can get all your done-for-you services like the SEO Shield I mentioned, syndication networks done for you, link building, press releases, a ton of other stuff. at mgyb.co. And Heavy Hitters Club, Marco, I need a better URL. I don't have it written down. Where's the one place they should go?
I just dropped it into the chat. It's heavyhitter.club.
That's right. Thanks. I always screw that up because I don't write it down, and I am fixing that right now. All right. There we go. So head over there, go check it out, and keep coming back to Hump Day Hangouts. This is the place. I do this when I post in the Facebook groups, but seriously, come to Hump Day Hangouts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Yes, we want you to subscribe, but also that way, if you ever ask questions, we get it. You can't attend live all the time. Then you'll get notified and you can at least go back and check it out, see maybe what other people are asking, or if you asked a question and you can get it answered so it doesn't just drop through the cracks. So do those two things and reach out if you have any questions about what you don't know or what you should be doing. You can always ask at Hump Day Hangouts and we can point you in the right direction, whether it's a course, whether it's something you need to do, maybe it's just something you need to read about. That's why we're here. So with that said, guys, anything else we need to cover before we get into it?
Let's do it.
All
Let's
right.
do it. We got a whole bunch of questions.
Okay, you guys are seeing my screen, right?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. The first one I see is Emil. He says, what would you do if you need GMB names and categories optimization for 20,000 of banks and ATM locations in multiple languages? Are there, I don't think I understand that question or what it is that you're trying to do.
So do you want to scrape the names and categories of 20,000 of the names of 20,000 banks and ATM locations?
Sounds more like the opposite to me, not knowing, and I don't work with GMBs, but I'm thinking like the conversion AI stuff, like coming up with unique descriptions for each or something. Does that make sense to you guys?
I don't know, because you can't add unique you can't add custom categories to GMBs.
No.
You haven't been able to do that for years. You have to select an already existing category. So I don't know what he means by if you need GMB's names and categories. To me, I would think it would, again, the way I'm interpreting this is I think more like what Marco was interpreting is there some way to scrape that stuff? I don't know. If you can clarify the question, I'm happy to try to give it a shot, but I don't really understand what it is that you're trying to do here, what the intent of the question is. Does anybody else have an idea?
No, but I mean, we had software when we could go, when we were going to 9 and 10. Remember when Google Local Guides? And
Yes.
we had a script that would go and find the ATMs and the banks and drop reviews and all kinds of things, images in all the different points. So I probably somewhere in all my stuff, I probably have and it's Python. It's a Python script that does that. But it would have to be adjusted for specific GMB names of or banks or whatever it is, to find them, to go scrape, find, and then, like, I'm not sure what it is that you want done and the languages, like, I don't know. But of course it's not free because it took us a lot of time to code that out.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as data scraping, there was a question that came up recently in the mastermind about that. There was two tools that I've been using recently a lot. D7 Lead Finder, which I don't know if that's, again, pertaining to your question specifically, but I know that's questions come up recently on multiple times. Excuse me. D7 Lead Finder I had been using, which is good. If you're doing a lot of like bulk scraping and stuff, that it's $100 a month. Actually, it went up. I think it's like $120 a month now. But if you get the professional plan, which is great for bulk scraping, like up to 100 cities at a time for a particular keyword, and that works great for what I'm doing for my directory. But then more recently, I've been also using Texau. I think it's called TEXAU, which is it's a different kind of scraping tool, but it does a ton of it's almost like a Zapier. It's got what they call spices, which are individual tasks, and then you can create recipes by combining different spices. And it does all kinds of scraping, like custom scraping stuff that you can develop or, create your own recipes or use some of their already created recipes, which, I mean, some of the really cool things is it'll scrape profiles from Facebook groups, which is pretty cool. It's just got a ton of different functionality and they're always adding to it. So there's an AppSumo deal right now that's gone up a little bit, but it's still on AppSumo. And in my opinion, it's still worth it. You have to buy 3 codes minimum for you to get an hour of processing time per day, which is what I'm using. And that's more than enough for what I've been needing. But it's a pretty powerful tool. And I see a lot of stuff on their development, like roadmap, that's going to make it continue to get stronger and stronger. So that's a really good tool as well. I've checked that out if you guys are doing any data scraping. All right. So the next question is, looks like Brad or Brady, one of the two. Hey guys, is it a good idea to buy aged YouTube accounts and re-upload all of our videos from our branded syndication ring for extra backlinking, or will this cost duplicated content penalties? No, it won't. There's no such thing as duplicate content, especially on YouTube. The only time that you can get duplicate content on YouTube is if you're trying to upload the exact same video to the same channel. If you take one video that's on one channel and you upload that same video to 1,000 other YouTube channels, YouTube will take it. It's only if you try to upload the exact same YouTube file, or excuse me, video file to the same YouTube channel, and YouTube, it'll start to upload and then it will stop it and it'll say it's duplicate content and it won't allow it to upload. But if you change the encoding, or you change the metadata, or you change the title, or you change the file name or anything else, typically it will take. So it's just, I don't know if file name will do it anymore. You used to be able to do that, but it might still catch it if it's the same encoding and everything. But if you change something, they call it video spinning, right? Which is just modifying the encoding, metadata, things like that, to allow the same video to be uploaded to the same channel, which I don't know why you'd want to do that. For spam purposes, maybe. But you know, it's, in my opinion, there's no need to have the same video on the same channel more than once. But you can take the same video and upload it to many, many channels and it won't cause duplicate content issues. There's really no such thing as that on YouTube, except for on the same channel. So is it a good idea to do that? I mean, I don't know. I don't do a lot of YouTube like SEO stuff anymore. I know it's still, you know, I still create YouTube channels for, you know, all projects. There's always a branded channel. It's just part of the SEO shield anyways, was part of the syndication network and then ultimately part of the SEO shield. And I still always, like, I'm using David Sprague's rep videos. It's great. It works great because it creates nice looking videos. It's inexpensive. And so for all my clients or my lead gen assets, we, you know, use the David Sprague's rep videos to create content for the YouTube channel, and then embed NAP, name, address, phone number, keywords, links to all the tier 1 entity assets and all of that in the YouTube description. And then you can even upload, though, you can download those files and then even upload them to GMB. So it's, and again, optimize the file. Use something like Mass Optimizer Pro or something like that to optimize the video file, to embed. You can't put latitude and longitude in the video file, but you can add in the comment section like NAP, publisher URL, copyright URLs, things like that. So you can link out to tier 1 entity assets in the metadata of the video file and then upload it to GMB. It's another great little hack to get. And by the way, videos in GMBs attract a lot of views. You notice that if you upload a video, they tend to get quite a bit of views, and photos are also crushing it in GMBs right now too. So anybody want to comment on that?
This misses the point. All right, so you buy 1 million aged YouTube accounts and you upload the video file 1 million times across all of these YouTube channels, and if nobody watches the video, you just wasted 1 million YouTube accounts. No watch time, activity. Guys, I've been saying it for years. Activity, relevance, trust and authority. Trust and authority going hand in hand, because you can't have one without the other. If you don't have some kind of art in whatever it is that you're doing, if you haven't thought it out where you are going to get people somehow to watch whatever it is that you're doing, then you just wasted a whole lot of time and got nothing back for it except, hey, wow, I own 1 million YouTube channels. Yeah, so fucking what? Have you made any money from it? The whole point in all of this is to get people in there. How are you going to get people in there? What's the point of that same video 1 million times? Hey, why don't you take that video and syndicate it across your properties, because you should be building a social network where you're being social in your social media properties, and you're blogging and you're sharing your content and you're building that audience. You're building that audience up so that somebody's watching the video, somebody reacts to your video or acts on your video, goes to the channel, watches more videos. Hey, how about buying some ads at pennies per watch? How about that? Getting people in there. into that video file, getting people into your T1 branded, wherever that video file is. Hey, how about getting an embed gig from MGYB with backlinking so that when you do that power push, you push a person through those ads in there and make everything just mushroom. How about thinking this through, which is the GMB way, so that you get the most bang for the buck? So that instead of wasting all that time with 1 million YouTube channels, you're powering up your branded channel, your T1 properties, everything that's attached to T1, your GMB, your drive stack, your GSite, and you're actually getting people in there who might convert and actually make you money. That question that you asked isn't contemplating how you're going to get people to watch and take action on your channel. That's what Google is looking at. Activity, relevance, trust, and authority. Been saying it for years, and we'll continue saying it until the algorithms change. It's what the algorithm's all about.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because, you know, I posted again yesterday in the mastermind for the 3rd week now in a row. I posted an update about using Google Ads for buying activity, you know, buying art essentially, right? Activity, relevance, trust, and authority, and using Google Ads with a $2 a day budget and getting incredible maps ranking results from that alone, from just buying traffic from a relevant audience in a very specific geo-targeted area, and it just moves the needle. I mean, it moves the needle in a matter of a week. It's incredible, and it's very inexpensive, and it's incredibly effective. And so I'm going to be covering that a little bit more tomorrow in the mastermind webinar because I was doing it a very specific way, but I just started setting up some additional testing using Google Ads traffic. So I totally agree. It's and here's just a quick hack that, you know, in talking about what Marco was just talking about with also embeds and link building. If you were to take the Google Ads traffic and send it to a video that you want to rank for SEO purposes, which, by the way, you can use that also to help to rank whatever it's linking to, GMB assets, money sites, whatever in the video itself, right? So because it's essentially the YouTube video becomes a tier 1 entity asset. So if you run traffic to it using Google Ads and you start to get some traction with it because of the activity, then you go and while that traffic is, you know, running to it, you do an embed gig and backlink gig, that looks natural. It's a very kind of natural occurrence. Start the traffic first. That's the way I do it anyways. And then run embeds and backlinks as the traffic is building to it, because it looks more natural, in my opinion, than just running embeds and backlinks and then, you know, sprinkling a little bit of traffic in, if that makes sense. It seems more natural to have traffic start and then like embeds and backlinks start to catch up, because it mimics more of a viral nature, like more of a viral activity. So anyways, that just tends to work really, really well. And I've not been doing a lot of stuff with YouTube, but I have been doing a lot of stuff with maps and Google Ads traffic, and it works incredibly well. It's hard to beat, to be honest. So any other comments on that? Moving on. Robert says, I acquired a high authority wiki type domain on an expired drop. Should I rebuild the wiki site as best I can, then link out to a money site, or 2.0 this domain? New content with similar historic navigation to pass through traffic to a money site. That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I would think you would lose potentially some power if you didn't build it back out. If it was a wiki type site, I don't know. That's not something I could really answer. I don't have an answer for that. Marco, what do you say?
To pass traffic through that, I'm kind of lost on that. So the expired domain has traffic. I mean, once you picked it back up, there's still traffic going to that domain, or you're expecting traffic to come to that domain once it's built out and then pass traffic through that? Or did you buy the wiki type domain for the linking power that it could provide? I'm not really understanding this. What's the point of building it out, doing all that work when you could be working on your money site and your SEO shield and building that out, and you could just Studio One this expired domain as long as it has good metrics and pass the link power that way?
Yeah, 301 it to like the GSite or something, right?
Yeah, the GSite, the GMB site, and anything that can handle it. And then you can hammer the expired domain this way. You can hammer it because it's going to a GSite or to the GMB site, and it can take it all day long.
Yeah.
And you're powering that up, and that should be hooked up the right way, the local GMB Pro way and the heavy hitter club way. It should be hooked up right, so that by the time the power reaches your money site, it will be exponential rather than just linear.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I can see potentially some benefit of rebuilding it with the old content, but I agree with Marco in that seems like a whole shit ton of additional work. But you could be spending that time, energy, money on, working on building your tier 1 entity assets out, your GSite, your SEO shield, powering that up, and then you just do a quick 301 redirect from the domain to a GSite or GMB, whatever it is that's part of your SEO shield. I agree. I think that's probably the quickest way to benefit from that. So Robert says, joined Heavy Hitter Club recently. Very pleased so far. Some Ninja Schema training Rob has produced too. Yeah, that course is amazing. Working through all the webinars at the moment. Thank you. Well, that's cool. So it wasn't even a question. It was just a accolades.
Yeah, thank you. Ask me on Monday, but Monday is Memorial Day. And so we're honoring the fallen, even though I'm in Costa Rica. We still honor the fallen all over the world. So let's honor Memorial Day. We're not going to have a Heavy Hitter Club webinar that day, but for the following 2 Mondays in a row, we will have webinars. So we'll make up the webinar that you guys are losing. But just ask us not this Monday, but a week from Monday on what to do with that expired domain. And we can give you some really good shit that you can do with it that I refuse to talk about like in public, but you can ask me. You're a member of the Heavy Hitter Club, and we'll figure out what to do with it and how you can best benefit from it. Especially if you're going through the training, you should already, once you get to how we do the link building and how we hook everything up on site, on the GMB, on the GSite, press releases, and how we hammer everything, you'll know exactly what to do with this.
Very cool. All right, Digital Y, he says, hi, the schema course is amazing. Can you please guide me on how to put schema in the GMB business site and the GSite? Well, we've talked about, I don't think you can do it on the GMB business site. You can't, yeah. But the GSite, you just embed a property that has schema. Money site page, which is what we teach anyways. ID page, press advantage organization page, anywhere that you can put schema. You just do an embed.
And I'm pretty sure that in the training, in the Heavy Hitter Club, I think even at the free level, Rob, because we did it during a webinar, we showed how you can insert schema into GSite directly onto the GSite. Now, problem is Google sometimes gets rid of it,
yeah,
for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But the ability is to do it is there because it's not the way that this was intended to be used, but you can use it that way. So you can inject the script into the GSite. Again, the problem is Google sometimes will just kill it. Other times it'll come through and it'll read it just fine. If you iframe something with schema, Google will sometimes go through and see it, and other times it just won't. But that's Google. As long as it reads it that one time, that's all we care about, because we know it has it stored, it's in the database, and the bot can access it if you type it once, and that's all we care about. I think with schema, as long as you've had it crawled and indexed, it will stay. It will stay. We showed that live, and I can't remember if we showed that live on a paid webinar or if it was shared in the free training. There's lots of free stuff in there, Wahid. So go look. Just go join for free. Go through the free stuff. Go through our YouTube channel. Bunch of free stuff in there. You can get a whole bunch of free training as far as this goes. The RYS information is all over the place. Just go find it.
Yeah. Then he says, number 2 is I have a website, basically a personal branding, where I have listed my services page. What should be the schema structure for this? Can you please define? Should I create a separate brand for organization, or what should it be? I don't know, because I don't really completely understand what the structure of that is.
No, never a separate brand.
Yeah.
Never, ever. Because then you're creating ambiguity. If you create a separate brand, you're making Google think that it's 2 different things, 2 different entities. You never want to do that. For your services page, the services schema. It should be in the training, and if it just go to schema.org and find services schema, and put it on that page. And then Rob does talk about how to reference the organization in that service schema and how to reference the service in the org schema. I can't remember if it goes, yeah, it should be, because it's a parent-child relationship. Parent claiming the child claiming the parent, everything's fine. If you're not clear about what to do, there's a Facebook group where you can ask this question and Rob can answer it directly, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Listen to me. The whole thing about this is you get it right. So your organization schema goes on your homepage or on the about page. I prefer the homepage.
Me too.
Services goes on the services page, or however many services pages you're going to set up, talking about the different services. And there's a whole bunch of schema that you can add regarding the services. If you're looking to reference, this is where the add IDs come in. Go back, go through the training, and you'll know exactly how to link these up. Go through the templates. If you, after having gone through all of the training and after having gone through the templates, you still have questions, that's why Rob has a Facebook group.
Yeah.
Go in there and ask him this very question, because honestly, I cannot give you a better answer than Rob. I mean, he's right now, he's the schema savant in the semantic mastery sphere. I don't want to answer for him. I can only give you what I know, or my very limited knowledge of schema. And I can tell you right now, that question, whether it should be separate or a separate brand, is no, never, ever, unless it's a DBA, doing business as, which you then reference in a parent-child relationship. That's how it works.
Sweet. What's up, Jordan? Let's see. Aaron says, Marco, are you still working on the Ultimate SEO plugin?
Yes.
I'm asking because I cannot use the current version with the Divi theme. Thanks.
We know the remastered version that we're currently beta testing has resolved the Divi theme, and there was another conflict with another theme. There was another issue. Was it Elementor? Whatever it was, yeah, Elementor, and it was conflicting with WooCommerce for some reason. That's all been taken care of. What you're going to get functions with every theme until they update one of the fucking themes, and then we'll have to go back in and fix it probably. Just so you know. How far out is it? Well, Bradley has a copy of it. He's beta testing, and I saw Jordan drop in, and he's beta testing, and a few other people in my Dire Wolf mini mastermind, they're testing, and I'm testing, and together we should be able to come up with something in the next few weeks.
Yeah, I have not been testing it as much as I should be, as I've been focusing more on GMB stuff, but I'm transitioning more towards organic stuff now because I've got people doing GMB stuff for me now. So hopefully I'll get to test it a little bit more. That said, moving on. Let's see. Adam says, I always assumed the AU was a reference to gold. No, it's text how he mentions in his training videos what it stands for, something like technology automation or something like that.
Yeah, that's funny, man. I realized I've got 2 licenses from 2020. And so I was like, oh shit, I've got to get back in there and check it out again.
It's a great tool, man. It really is. It's pretty powerful. So they've got some pretty good training videos and stuff too. So Digital Waleed says there are 6 types of image metadata. He lists them all. What are the important ones? Which metadata should be considered as mandatory? I couldn't answer that. I just optimize the fields from, I'm still using Mass Optimizer at the time currently for geotagging images, and I just use whatever it modifies. That's what I do. But do you have a better answer, Marco?
No, because I don't really worry about images that much, as long as I get, again, I'm not going to go into what I teach in the Heavy Hitter Club. That does wonders for whatever it is that we're targeting. But yeah, you can go into the metadata, you can go into the EXIF. You can get really carried away because you can add tags in there. You can add the author, you can add the year, you can add a whole bunch of information. Excuse me, you can add reviews, the stars on it, the year that it was. You can add just a whole bunch of information. I'm going to tell you right now, though, if this is for local, nothing absolutely nothing works better than images taken at the location, both
Yep.
at the centroid, so wherever the business originates, even if it's in your garage, and how that relates to the surrounding area, because that's how Google will create the radius that it's where it's going to show you to people that are close by. That's what Google is going to look at. The further that you can extend that, again, that's part of the training that we've done, local GMB Pro. The further that you can extend the centroid, the better it is that it's going to be for your ranking, especially as you get closer to the metro centers. If you're not already at the centroid of the city, the centroid meaning the geographic center, not what everybody considers the center, but what Google considers the geographic center, and what Google considers your business centroid, or the exact geolocation of your business in relationship to everything else, and in relationship to everyone else competing for that keyword set that you're after, or that niche.
Yeah, Marco, he's 100% right. I've got just a couple of clients that provide me with original photos from tree service jobs that they're doing, that they take with their phone. And there's no question that those images move the needle for the GMB significantly, because they're uploaded directly to the GMB through the app on their phone. And it's very, very powerful. I still geotag a shit ton of images for most of my clients, because they don't give me images,
Right.
Original images. And that works. It does work, but it's not nearly as effective as original images taken from phone and uploaded directly to GMB from that device. That seems to just, it's incredible how powerful that is, and people overlook it. And I've tried to tell that to clients over and over and over again, and and I don't know why so many fucking clients have a difficulty, find it so challenging to just snap 4 or 5 pictures on every job that they do. Like, how is that difficult? It's not at all. Or to take a quick short video. Hey, this is Joe on top of a tree right now in Fairfax County, Virginia. We do tree removal in Fairfax. Give us a call anytime. Phone number. Like, a 20-second video clip can do significant movement for a GMB. And it's crazy that so many people don't want to do that. So many clients just don't want to do that. But whatever, we gotta make it work however we can, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you have no other option, then you go and you go into the data. But if you do have an option, if you have a client that's willing, think about it. You're at the location on your phone, connected to GPS, right? So
yeah,
Google knows exactly where you are. Google, in fact, will know the wind speed. Will give Google the elevation where you are, not just the geolocation. But there's so many things that you're feeding Google from that geolocation. And here's the thing, and what most people miss. Google is nothing but a fucking set of servers somewhere. The part of Google where we play, because of course it's also Alphabet Inc., the bigger conglomerate corporation, whatever you want to call it. That's Alphabet, that has a whole lot of things that it's on. But the part of Google where we play is a set of servers around the world. What do these servers store? They store information. They have a graphical representation of the information. It's a relational database. That's all it is. When it's all said and done, all you have is a bunch of servers with a bunch of storage holding information about whatever niche, about whatever entity in that niche. And all you're doing, because this is a hungry monster, it's a hungry data monster, it's looking for new information every day, because that's how a relational database works. It doesn't work on just old information. It incorporates new information. It needs it to continue filling out this niche, all of the information that it needs to relate these two different things to the best entity that it's creating in that niche, and how your entity relates to the best entity in that niche. It's all information. It's all math. It's all algorithms, and that's all it is. Whatever they use to access the information, whether they go through AI, whatever else it is that they're using, when it's all said and done, it's math. If you fill in the variables better than anybody else, you win. I can't make it any simpler than that. You feed the bot the right variables better than anybody else, you win. If you don't, if you have to give the bot the same variables that everybody else is giving it, then you have to give the bot a reason why it should rank your garbage better than anybody else's garbage that it already has. It already has garbage from everybody else. Why is your garbage more special than anybody else's? Make it not garbage. It can be spam. Spam isn't necessarily garbage. And you can spam all day long, and it's going to love whatever it is that you're giving it. But if you don't give the bot a reason, so if everybody else is doing EXIF and you're not, you're going to lose. If you do EXIF and everybody else is, there's no reason for Google to take your shit above anybody else's. So you better be applying other methods other than just that to win. If you're giving Google images on a daily basis from everything related to this geographical area, then you have a better chance of winning than anybody else because nobody's doing it. Bradley just said it. His tree service clients hardly ever do it. But the ones who do, they get grave movement. And so please, stop thinking of Google as this all-knowing, all-seeing, all-powerful thing that just rules the world, because it isn't. It's a fucking database. It's looking for information. Give it information. New information, better information, different information than anybody else. I just told you how to win.
Adam, you look like you want to say something.
Just more of a maybe a tip somebody could get something out of. I randomly did this for a client. Maybe this would be helpful for you guys. It was unrelated, but they needed people that worked for them to send in pictures, and they were tired of people being like, oh, just connect my phone to your computer, or like trying to remind them. So what I did was set up with their Zapier account. You can send in, you can create an email in Zapier that you can send emails to, and then connect that to a Google Drive folder. So I created a shared Google Drive folder, created the Zapier email account, connected the two, and then said, great, just tell people to send stuff in, and you can set it up so you can see who sent the email, when they sent it, stuff like that, which was important to them. For this, it sounds like it's not so important, but I realize it's not difficult to send, but giving them like that one thing instead of like, remember to send me an email, just be like, just dump every picture you've ever take that's important into this folder, can kind of help people out sometimes.
Yeah, but you know, one of the things that I've tried to convey to my clients and tree service contractors is that all they have to do is take photos on site and then just upload them directly to the GMB from their phone, just through the GMB app.
Yeah, and I would think that there's value in doing that. But yeah, and that's why I just said like, yeah, it's maybe an edge case, but if somebody else finds this helpful, maybe help.
The problem I've had with having them send me the photos is depending on how they send them, oftentimes that metadata gets stripped out.
Yeah.
And so that's the problem. So it's just easier and it's more efficient to not put that additional step in, to have them send them to me, just upload them directly through. And then I can use those photos when we're publishing GMB posts, for example, because they're part of the GMB like photo archives or whatever, if that makes sense.
So, I mean, I think about this in terms of like human psychology then, like, so incentivize the behavior and don't expect them to do something new that they don't like doing. So like, even though you're telling them, hey, this is going to benefit you. So I'm thinking like, send them a reminder email, so long as they're an active client, every week, asking them if they've uploaded their emails. And then if they have, you can, add a carrot instead of the stick, maybe like give them a discount, say like, hey, if every week you upload more than 5 pictures, I'm going to knock off $10, or I'm going to give you a free blog post at the end of the month if you do this 4 weeks in a row, something like that.
Idea.
Yeah.
A couple of GMB posts, man. So every I don't know, every 10 images, you get a free GMB post. That's a great idea, Adam.
Yeah.
That might be something I have to work into our processes.
Yeah, try it. We got to test it, see if it works, and then incorporate it.
All right, cool. So Jack says Google ad traffic to maps, geolisting, HVAC site. Should it be targeting specific keywords, or keywords are irrelevant just to get some traffic on it? No, it's important. Look, the more relevant the traffic that you send, the better the results. So I'm not going to give you the specific details because that should be reserved for our paid groups like the mastermind, which, by the way, There's a mastermind webinar with me tomorrow. Like I said, I've posted for the last 3 weeks an update each week regarding this specific strategy. I'm going to cover that more in depth tomorrow. We have a quarterly plan. Jump into the mastermind for a quarter. Come check it out for 3 months. You'll probably stay. But if you want the exact specifics on what I'm doing, as well as some of the additional testing that I just started setting up yesterday, and I'll provide updates weekly on that as well. It's credible. I've got GeoGrid maps to show the results. And this is from a GMB listing that was unoptimized, and it was just sending relevant traffic to it. But so you just got to think about how, if you know how to structure Google Ads and the display network, which is what I'm using, because you can get incredibly cheap or inexpensive clicks. You can target your geographic region, very, very tight geographic targeting, and then also set up traffic from a relevant audience. And there's a few different ways to do that. But, again, I can't give away the farm here on that, but I would, encourage you to come check it out. Also, if you're not in the mastermind and you're in the Heavy Hitter Club, I haven't really, other than I think once, done a webinar with the guys, with Rob and Marco for the Heavy Hitter Club. But I'm happy to jump in and do some additional, guest presentations over there with Marco and Rob. So that's something that we could cover in the Heavy Hitter Club if there's enough demand in the Heavy Hitter Club for that. I'm happy to do another webinar with you guys for that. So, okay.
Yeah, and by the way, Google Ads, it's in the training.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jack is in the training, but Brad, the charity webinars are included in the Heavy Hitter Club, and we went through the whole entity. That's what the charity webinars were all about. We told you from step 1 through step 5 in 5 webinars how to take advantage of entities in today's web. We showed it. Bradley went in there and gave away the farm on how to do ads for branding and keyword association. So it's really solidifying the entity all around through your brand and keyword association. Fantastic training, man. For free. I mean, for not for free, but for the price of a donation to the charity, should you choose not to be a member of the Heavy Hitter Club, which is perfectly fine.
Okay, let's see. The next question was, well, I guess it's, Aaron's, that's more of a comment. He says, new SEO Ultimate plugin. Yippee, I love the plugin. I really want to work with it again. Yeah, I agree. As a matter of fact, there was one of my sites that it didn't play with nicely. So I switched to using rank math on that one site, and it's still on that site, to be honest with you. But I missed it because I've gotten so used to using the SEO Ultimate plugin. So, all right, next one. Jack says, do not laugh. Is there a step-by-step guide to start using the info in the club for the Heavy Hitter Club, or do I need to be an expert? Thanks.
Nah, man. Expert as far as what? You have a whole bunch of experts and ninjas and gurus on the web, or those who claim to be, who don't know shit, neither about SEO, have never ranked anything, have never really done anything other than sell. That's all they do, and that's all they're good at. They're great at sales, they're great at marketing and marketing themselves. That's all they're good at. Is there a step-by-step guide? I just finished a spreadsheet with a step-by-step method on what you should be doing. But the webinars are set up in a way where we go, first was entities, then we went into schema, then we went into linking, then we're currently doing iframes. And now that Bradley has volunteered to do ads, so I'm thinking I'll take him up on it. I'll see where it fits in with what we're doing with our case studies and everything else. But we can have him in for a couple of 3 webinars to really detail it, carry it through, show it over the shoulder, how it's done. And yeah, that would be an awesome addition to the training. But no, man, you don't need to. So listen to me. It's much better for you to be an action taker, meaning that you're going to go and watch the webinars from beginning to end and take action, than if you are an expert and you go in and do nothing. Because nothing from nothing leaves nothing. It just does. So if you go in there with an open mind, because I'm counterintuitive to the garbage that's taught. People, I'm not going to call everybody else's garbage, but I'm counterintuitive to what seems to be common in SEO. I go the opposite way, because they tell you, you can't manipulate Google. I go and manipulate Google. They said you couldn't go in the belly of the beast. I go in the belly of the beast. I live in the belly of the beast, and I get results time after time after time.
The drive stacks don't work, Marco.
I know. None of our, nothing. Syndication networks are obsolete. They're 2008 style link wheels, we were told. I thought it was a compliment, by the way. But anyway, it's just to tell you, Jack, that what's an expert? You need to be a professional and really study if you're going to be a neurosurgeon, because you can't fuck up people's spines. You can't mess with their brain unless you really know what you're doing. But with this, all you need to be able to do is like follow over the shoulder training, watch the video training, watch the webinars. Most of what we show it live in webinars. It's how we do it. We show you, we go in and we show you, this is what we're doing. This is how you do it. And all you have to do is replicate it. I don't see why anyone that's not an SEO per se would not be able to go in and watch the training and replicate it. Essie is a perfect example, isn't she? She came into Syndication Academy, didn't know anything about SEO. Might have known what it stood for, might not. Doesn't matter. She went in, followed the training, and now she's able to go and manipulate any website on the web at will if it can be manipulated. So isn't that interesting that a person just walking off the street, focused on what she's doing and following the training and applying the training, can do it? I hope that answers your question. And if not, go into the Heavy Hitter Club, join the free part of the training, see what's shown in there and what's taught in there, and you'll be able to determine whether it's for you and just follow through. There's different levels to the training. There's different paid levels that you can join. I would highly recommend to be there for the webinars, not only so that you can watch the training live and watch us do the live training, but also to ask questions where we can really get into detail on how you do each specific thing. That's the one thing that I would advise.
And I will again, I'll definitely take you up on that, Marco, and do some additional training for the Heavy Hitter Club members about the Google Ads stuff, because the training I've done before, it's still the same concept, but I've been testing the campaigns that I've set up have evolved slightly, and like I said, I've been tracking it very closely over the last few weeks, and I just started with some additional tests yesterday. So over the course of the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'm going to be tracking those results too. And so if we can push them out, 3 weeks from now or something like that, a month from now, then I'll have a lot of data that I can share and show you guys the results, and very specifically how I set up campaigns and all that. It just, like I said, it's like the fuel to help ignite the fire for everything else that we do. It's just incredible. And just to show how just running very relevant traffic to a GMB listing that was unoptimized and how much movement I was able to get from that with doing nothing else is just incredible. So when you combine that with all the other stuff that we teach, it's just what competition, what is that? You know what I mean? So all right, so next up is Jordan, and we're almost out of time. He says, okay, working with a church that meets in a school and they want school as their GMB, seeing this church did it. Does anyone know how? The located in feature that is. Yeah, it's funny. I saw that recently in one of my tree service contractors has a GMB that Jordan, very similar to what you're talking about. It's located. It's interesting. It even says directly in the GMB. In fact, let's open this up because it's probably going to show exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, how it says located in. It's funny because it's funny because it's the tree service contractor that's located in a church. So it's funny how you got a church that's located in a school, and I have a tree service contractor that says located in, and it's a church. It's like Grace Episcopal Church or something like that. Anyways, I forgot, but I think when you set up a GMB, there's an option for that. It's been a while since I've seen it though, but I vaguely remember seeing that as an option when you're setting up a GMB to state that it's located in another building. So it's like a shared space type thing. So as far as like, how do you do it? I don't know, but I thought that was an option that in the process of setting up the GMB, but I haven't seen it recently that I can remember off the top of my head. So Marco, do you have an answer for that?
No, I've never really tried to do it.
Yeah.
So I've never really seen it. first time I've seen that, as a matter of fact.
See, that's not the first time I've seen it, but it was interesting the first time I saw a tree contractor that had it, and it's located in a church, and I thought that was pretty interesting. So my guess is he's a tree service contractor and just asked the church, hey, can I use your location as my registered address? And they apparently let him. So
probably. So you just said the way to do it. Have the what do you call it? The church or the school receive a PIN.
Yeah. So I guess that's it, Jordan. As again, you'd have to probably go through the process of setting up a GMB to see where that option is, but I think you can. So digital Wally said, Bradley, you used to be fat. How did you lose the weight? Keto and CrossFit. The ketogenic diet and CrossFit. I started that in August 15th, 2015. And I lost 100 pounds over 2 years. Actually, over 1 year. Yeah, because I lost 102 pounds over 52 weeks. It was like 2 pounds a week for an entire year that I lost. So anyways, now I just maintain it. I don't stick to the keto diet anymore. But I only eat one meal a day. I just eat dinner every day. So I just eat one time a day. So it's intermittent fasting or time restricted eating. And I've been able to maintain my leanness for the last 2 years doing that. I mean, I still work out, but I don't I eat carbs now. I love pizza and burgers and fries and all that kind of stuff, but I only eat one time per day. So that's how I did it. Good question. Thank you for asking. All right. Last thing was the charity. Okay.
We did that.
Is the charity webinar still available through donation?
I posted in there.
So it is?
Right below.
Okay. Lastly, Aaron says, Bradley and Marco, I'd really appreciate knowing more about Google Ads and Inhibitor Club. I tried GAds previously and I didn't go bankrupt, but it was close. No, and I'm not talking about running ads for conversions. This is strict. I mean, with a targeted audience, there will be an occasion that you'll get an actual conversion from it. But I'm talking about using Google Ads with as small as a $2 per day budget for SEO purposes. You're buying art from Google. That's it. Now, and again, like for example, if you're running traffic directly to a Google map or a GMB website, you can't set up conversion tracking anyway. There's no way to do it. So it's not, you may still get an occasional conversion, but it's not going to track in Google Ads or analytics as a conversion because if somebody goes to your GMB website and they click the call button, it's not going to register unless you're using a Google Ads phone number as the phone number in your GMB website. It's not going to register as a conversion, but if they actually call your client and they convert, that's a conversion, but it's not trackable, if that makes sense. So my point is that it's not like we're using these ads for, like I would search ads, like call only ads or whatever, to send people to a landing page and then convert as a lead. And I would track that and everything else. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about literally buying clicks to go to a very specific Google asset. And from a very targeted geographic radius and a very targeted audience, and it moves the needle. It absolutely moves the needle, and as little as a week. So, I mean significantly.
At $2 a day, there's no way that you can go broke.
That's right.
Unless you have less than $60 to spend on your your SEO, which you should be actually looking for a job if you only have $60 to spend on your SEO.
So, all right, guys. Thanks everybody for being here. That was just really good timing. So we'll see everybody.
I'm in the background to go write an article in Conversion AI on how to make keto lasagna. So I'm just getting sucked into this again.
Jarvis will spit out an article pretty quick. So